the menace. Menace to sobriety.
For people using, because a lot of people going, I watched that, I listened to you and Dapper, and it really helped me. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to give back, right? And I'm not evangelical. I'm not that sort of person that goes, you've got to give up the bag, you've got to give up the packet. I'm like, listen, if you want to do it, fucking go ahead, right? But if you've reached a point in your life where you decide you want to make a change and you want to listen to something that's going to support you, encourage you, and help you, then listen, right?
Yeah.
So there's something that I wanted to show you today.
Oh, what's this? He keeps on pulling stuff out. He's got like a little sack down the bottom there.
Well, look, I wanted to put
Oh,
this
no,
in
they look
perspective.
like packets. They actually do. They're big packets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Prepared packets, like back in the day.
Oh, my
right?
God, I'm going to have to do a line live on the podcast. I'm back, Davey. No, joking.
Well, what I wanted to show you is this, right? Now,
This is
I
scary.
looked at the police reports, right, for 2014.
Wow, look at this.
Of all the things that are, of all the seizures.
Yeah.
And let me tell you that 12 to 40% is what the average test on gear that's been seized comes out at. That means that 60% of it, as I mentioned before, isn't gear, isn't the gear itself. It's additives, it's other things that we spoke about.
60%?
60%, right? So if you've got 40% proof, that means the other 60% is made up of other things. Now, just to make this clear, no real gear was made in the process of this program.
Yeah.
So what I did is I weighed out an ounce, right?
God, hold on a second. I've got to record this.
I weighed out an ounce, right? And I split it between chocolate protein powder, so you can get big later, and white flour, right? And I weighed out an ounce at 60% and 40%. So you can really see what you're putting up your nose. And what I wanted to do was this,
Oh, my God.
right?
Yeah.
When you do that, that's what you're using. Obviously, the additives aren't brown, obviously, but I need to make a distinction. That's what you're using. That is what you're putting up your nose. And people think, oh, yeah, it's not. I wouldn't do it off a toilet system and I wouldn't do this, but look what you put up your nose. You put it up without thinking about it. 60% of what you're putting up isn't even gear. It's other stuff, other shit. And, think about when they make cocaine. I didn't mention this last time. When they burn it in the tyres and things, they use tyres. That tyre contains carcinogenics. That causes cancer. But let's look at that.
Yes.
That's an ounce, right?
Yeah, and the other, even though you've used the brown stuff there to symbolise what you're mixing, and that would have been white, so you wouldn't be able to tell. But that's majority. It's majority brown. Now, first of all, very dab hand with a card there, my friend.
Well, plenty of practice, my friend. Plenty of practice. Look at that.
But for those of you that
that's about one of my old ones.
Oh, really?
So you get an idea.
This geezer used to do slugs, mate.
No, that's what I used to do. Like people used to weigh it out. They go, "Do you want a line? Do you want a line?" And they do that, and I go, "What the fuck do you want me to do with that?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You want to party with me? You want to party hard?"
Yeah, seriously. But for those of you that are listening that can't see, what he's done here is he's popped it all out in powder form so you can really see, just to emphasise that you don't really know. And this is something I was talking to Kirk the other day, Kirk Norcross, big friend of Menace to Sobriety, and he said to me, not just you don't know what's in it, but he goes to me, do you know what the crazy thing is? When I used to go around someone's house, and if I was eating, like if there was a kid's party or something like that, and someone put a sandwich on the side of the thing, and it wasn't on a plate, he's like OCD a little bit, and he's like, I won't eat that. Or if he goes into a toilet and the toilet was dirty, he'd go and he'd be like, I'm not pissing or shitting in here, but he'd sniff a line off that top, or he'd like Weatherspoon's toilets, he'd rack one up on the thing like, Jesus,
I've got to tell you a funny story.
Who knows what's happening now? I've done some wonky stuff in them toilets. Yeah, go on.
I'll tell you, I went to the O2 one year with a mate of mine to see a concert. Can't remember who it was. And I said, let's go and do one. Let's go and do one. We go to the toilet. I'll go, we do it on the top of the toilet lid, right? Because there's no cistern there in the O2. And we put the toilet seat down, but they're oval. They're oval like that. They're not flat. They're oval. He's like, oh, what the fuck are we going to do now? I was like, don't worry about it. And I did this straight line right over the top of the oval toilet seat. I said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Wow. But it seems like we're glorifying drug use, but it is glorious at the time, but we're not glorifying
Listen, you've got these experiences so you can help other people in the future so that people can resonate and go, I fucking did that, I fucking did that. Yeah. Well, if they stopped, I can stop. If they did it, I can
you're
do
right.
it too.
You're right.
That's the way I express it. It's not about glorifying. It's about, listen, I don't want to sit there going being, I'm really boring and we should talk about drugs and we shouldn't talk about this and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do it. Like, listen, why are you going to do that? No one's going to listen and no one's going to take note. If they want some help, they have to understand that person understands them because that person has been them.
Yeah, that's really good. And I think that's probably why people, like you said, are relating to the clips and relating to us. And I think that, I put a post up this morning saying, I think you saw it, you commented on it actually, saying I'm 100 days today. Yeah. And I actually went on to like, for instance, a lot of this stuff that we're talking about is going to, I know it's even just putting that out, it may be a bit triggering for people. So some, you know, a lot of the comments on our podcast, on the YouTube were like, watching this is making me want to get on it.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot.
Like, do you know what I mean? And like, or people saying, fuck, I'd love to have a session with Dapper or whatever, right? But someone, and I appreciate that this can be triggering, and someone put a tweet up that upset me this morning. I'm getting a few things, and he just said like, you know, you've spent your life like sort of monetizing and being the lad and sesh culture and everything like that, and now you're getting old and, you know, you've sold out and, you know, you're going on the mental health thing. Why do you think people are...
I think there are a couple of reasons. I think firstly, it's like if you have crabs in a bucket, right, and one crab tries to escape, you know what the crabs do? The crab grabs the leg of the other crab and it rips the leg off, trying to stop it, preventing it getting away. And I think what a lot of people are is they haven't stopped and they don't feel comfortable being left behind. That's one part of it. The second part is they think like, oh, you're ramming it down my throat. Well, don't listen if it's not for you. That's the second thing I say. And then the last thing I would say is, look, people want to understand that, as I said, we've been there, done it, right? And it's not ramming it down someone's throat. We're not evangelical. We're not saying, oh, man, you've got to do this, right? We're saying, listen, we've lived these experiences. We've learned from these experiences. We're just like you. And we've found a solution and a way out.
Menace to sobriety. Just a menace. Just